Welcome back to Under the Arch podcast. It's been a while. We're glad to be back. We're in the same space with a new look. And my name is Clive.
My name is Jas. What's good?
I don't know what to call myself. It's been such a
long time.
You
got the shades on. Do the gimmick. Come on.
I guess I'm shades down.
You're shades down,
shades down, innit?
You heard it here first.
And it's me, Craig.
Big man.
Young Marv, bro. I'm not letting that one go.
Alright, so today we're just going to recap 2019, just how it's been for us as like just on a personal level, on I guess like what we've been doing as EightSeven, and just kind of looking forward to what we've got planned for this year, what we're hoping for. So who wants to kick off that?
Well, I think the whole point of today's podcast is obviously, like you said, to discuss 2019 and how things developed within the group and how we progressed. And I think it's also like can be also like sort of a cautionary tale to like people starting up podcasts, I feel. To be like what pitfalls to avoid.
Just business in general.
Business in general, yeah.
Business in general.
Any type of thing, any type of business that you're going into when you're involving other people, how to best handle things, how to what's the word I'm looking for?
Navigate.
Yeah, how to best navigate the waters of business, regardless whether it's with your friends, podcast, whatever format. That's mainly what the main point of today's thing is. So to get started, 2019 was I'd say a rocky year for like us as EightSeven. Obviously there came a point where Daniel, one of our founding members, left the group, and I left with him. And I think there was a whole lot that led into that, obviously, that hasn't this guy. There's a whole lot that led. You want to say it?
Nah, bro, fire off.
Okay, so there was a whole lot that led into that, obviously, like and I think for us to get back to the point where we're at now, because it's almost it's like what 10 months since the fallout.
Oh, right.
And
the final arc.
Yeah, and there's been like a lot of there's needed to be like a lot of communication and a lot of growth to get us to this point, which I think we need to like. I think it's probably be good to set out a timeline of what happened, I guess.
Start from Jan. Okay,
so January, we started off January like we had a meeting, set our hopes high for the year, set out some goals and such. But then I think we came in hot. We did like
we had January was busy.
January was very busy.
Yeah. That was like Tony Blaze, Krista Prince.
We get like 6 or 7 interviews at a time. Yeah.
Well, we had stacked up. We were sorted.
Yeah.
We were sorted.
So like obviously the year kicked off on a high note. So obviously we're thinking, hey, this is January. By December, we're going to be popping, innit? So but then February came, and I think one thing, the first point to make about podcasts in general, if you're going to like get into it, I think communication and making sure that everyone stays on track, everyone's like-minded in what the goal is very important. Because when February came, it was like we left January on a high, and then February we just dropped. Like, did we release anything in February?
No, we released.
Yeah, we did.
But that was
we had stock.
That was stockpiled. So basically, no interview was done in the month of February, and I think I may be having my timeline mixed up, but did we have a meeting to talk about that or no?
That was in March.
We had a meeting in March.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting in March to sort of get ourselves reset. But that was a major issue, like the whole...
It's just making sure your personal and business lines aren't crossed. That's what it comes down to a lot of times. And I think that's where we've all come a long way now. Because obviously, like, we had to all understand where our boundaries were.
Right.
It took a long time to get back to where we are now. I didn't speak to you for like 3 months. I spoke to you at like 3 months later.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you just got to make sure you're back at that point. Because that's kind of what came down to the whole thing. Like, it was like, cool. Because it's never a one-off thing when you come to it. It's like a build-up.
Yeah.
And I think the thing now is that we can't let things build up the way we do. We just have to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think we'd all been mates for a while, but never navigated business.
Right.
So we went from spending like 1 day a week to a lot of times like 12-hour days every day. And lines
build up.
Yeah, and then lines are just being crossed. And, I think for me personally, it was just like, okay, cool. February, I need because it was a personal thing I was like, let me just take a step back because I was pissed.
Yeah.
And then we reconnected March. March. And then that was that. I was like, cool, we're back on track somewhat. And then April was just like, cool, let me just step back altogether. It was sort of that peace of mind, I think, because I was at a point where I had to make a choice.
Right.
And I think I've reflected on it quite a lot and gone, if I'd made a different choice, I think at some point I still would have stepped away. Because I just felt like it just built up.
Right.
So.
Well, in our conversations, the thing that always came up on your end was that it was a peace of mind thing. Like, there was so much going on in your personal life that it was like...
Jeez Louise, fam. I can't even get into all of it.
2019.
But, jeez.
Like, there was so much going on that, like you're saying, regardless of whether it was April down the line, like a step away just to like decompress was needed, I feel. So then that came.
But before that, we had Savage Dan though. We can't mess up the good ones.
That was amazing.
To keep it real, right before that, the Savage Dan thing happened, and I think we actually had our best podcast episode. That was the one with all of us and then Elijah and Emmanuel.
About branding and ownership.
Yeah, like I think.
And I think after that was 1 week after that we had Savage Dan. After the following week was Savage Dan.
Oh no, that's right.
Then after that everything just went a bit left.
Yeah.
Well, we had that unreleased episode right after that, which is good for all of us.
It will stay unreleased.
We were discussing something, and the energy level just, I think. From a personal point of view, I think I went from like that high, and I just felt tired. Because I think like everything had been geared up to that morning. I remember like, not going into the details of what happened today, but legit things kind of got held back. We got there like an hour early, then had to rush in, then bang on the interview, then had to cut. Like it was literally it was a mad rush.
Shout out to Sabbats Dan for doing the interview though.
Bro, that was a special interview, man.
Shout out to Dan.
He's a good guy, man. And his studio bangs. Studio bangs.
But it really does. But no, I think the whole point is that it's funny because right before the whole thing disbanded, it's like it's almost like it's a lot of like up and down because right before everything went left, we were on a sly high. That's what I would call it.
It was about to be a breakthrough moment.
Like the Savage Dan thing was like, okay, this is our foot in the door. Like we were looking looking for some sort of foot in the door. And it's like, Savage Dan, if this pops off, we could go somewhere with this. And then it's sort of like
died down.
It died down, and then
the same week it dropped was when I
that's after that's
literally the same week it dropped.
But another thing as well that we have to shout out Ellis as well from when we did the interview.
Fam, the movie event.
That was in January as well.
Yeah, that was time. But Jan popped. Jan popped off,
I remember his dad was giving us some good advice as well, telling us like
his dad's a good guy, man. He's kept him
how we can stick together. So
he's kept him humble.
What I really say is that like we thank God that we're back together again and we sorted our issues and we're growing slowly rebuilding relationships and taking it from there.
It took a lot.
All we need to do now is to stick together. And we'll go far. And opportunities will happen now for us.
Absolutely.
That's the aim.
That is the aim. I hear that one.
And what I would say is that it's a process, isn't it? Like it's taken a while for us to get to this point where we can like sit down and have an open conversation about the stuff that transpired in 2019. And like, again, this is like advice to anybody. Like, don't rush the process. If you have conflict with someone that you're collaborating with, whatever it is, don't rush the process of resolution, because you'll leave certain stones unturned. You know what I'm saying? That like maybe will come back later on. So I feel like the time taken, we've addressed a lot of things. Like I know for myself and Dan personally, that 2019 changed us quite a lot.
That laugh.
Oh my God.
You don't need to know, but if you know, you know.
You know.
But no, the point being, right, that changed us a lot to where the perspectives that we had at that time are like totally different to who we are. We
don't recognize who we are. We were a year back. I don't even recognize myself from a year ago.
Like we had a conversation, I think 3 weeks ago. And I said I don't recognize us from September.
I don't, bro.
Like the growth. Like I feel like an honest look into oneself. Like the growth will just be never ending. I feel, and I feel like that's what's happened to all of us. Like I think 2019 was big for all four of us. And For Emmanuel as well, actually, I would say.
Yeah.
Emmanuel was in a crossfire. He had to like.
Exactly.
He had to
that phone call will never be forgotten, bro.
Yeah.
Could never be forgotten.
Honestly speaking, I think God kind of healed us in a way. Like faith kind of brought us more together. Like in terms of, I think God kind of said to us, maybe we need to take a step back.
Yeah.
Rebuild our relationship, come back again, and start all over. But the thing is, what I said with Daniel when we first started 8-7, I said to him it's going to be like a 5-year plan. So we're in our third year of a 5-year plan. So we're still got stuff to do.
Still working up.
We're still working. So obviously, like with this, I see this going very far, but we have to take our time. We'll get there.
Don't rush the process.
If you rush it, and it doesn't work out. We take our time. Take our time, we'll be very successful.
I agree, but I'd kind of add that to me, if you want to use like a sporting analogy, it's like a decathlon. So there'll be points when it's like almost like a marathon. It's just taking time. You're not quite sure like the process of what we're doing. What are we going to start to see the fruit of it? Then it'll be like we're on that the long jump section, and we're just jumping over. Oh, okay, we're here now. So I think there are going to be things that are going to push us further faster, and there'll be points when things will be a bit slower. Like right now, we're kind of realigning again what our core values are, because those haven't changed, but how we put the best content out in the right manner. Right. So over the next couple of weeks and months, we're going to be experimenting with a lot of different types of things to see what sticks, what doesn't stick. Obviously, we've dropped 2 new series recently. So Last Supper and Life as a Creative, which came out, depending when you hear this, which came out this past week as of recording. So like, we're willing to try new things, because at the end of the day, as individuals, we all have a lot of interests. Yes. And our core value is and always will be about shining a light on other individuals who have something to share. But as we expand 8-7 into more areas, it's just a case of how can we then incorporate all these new things under the umbrella and not lose the essence of what we are.
Absolutely.
I guess the other thing to discuss would be like the gap, because obviously you did some big interviews in the gap. Break down the process of like how sort of someone went in terms of like the transition period.
Basically, we kind of, after you guys took your little break, we took a little break for a little bit, but we're still getting in. We did a few interviews, didn't we? Yeah, we did like 3 or 4 interviews.
Yeah, I mean, like it was. Ah man, it hurt. It was hard. Because at one point I sat like I don't know if I went away. I didn't go away at that point, but I think I was like, I took a good couple 2-3 weeks of just sitting there thinking, man, like kind of blown this, like we're doing like a really good thing, and in one way or another we kind of ruined it. And I felt really like downhearted for a while. But then, the show has to go on. And so we had some people lined up. We had a few people that we met, and we thought it'd be good to kind of just like bring them in, interview them and stuff. So we just kind of just got on with it and tried a few different things, like with interviewing people, just trying to make them feel comfortable, but also just like bring out elements of them through conversation that maybe they're not aware of. So like that's kind of how the whole Last Supper thing came up, because what I like to do is I used to do like warm-up questions to kind of get the sound levels right and kind of work out the camera angles and stuff. And then during that, one of my questions was like, if you were to hold a dinner party for 12 guests like the Last Supper, who would you invite and why? So we did that for a few people, and then that's now spawned into a whole thing which we're going to kind of build on. So yeah, that was kind of like one little thing to experiment with that. And then on top of that, it was a change, like playing around with the look of the videos as well. So like using this room, using other rooms, going for the black look, going for color, doing some, like the video this past week, shooting outside, which was an interesting challenge when dealing with, like the lighting conditions and the sound conditions and stuff. So just kind of learning new things, which is quite useful. And then on top of that, one thing that we're doing more often now is we shoot weddings. So we have shot 3 weddings.
Yeah, we shot a few now.
And each time, like the feedback from the couples has been really, really positive, and like the finished product that they've received has been really good. And just that whole process of kind of doing that, getting into understanding like how to tell a compelling story that really sums up a day and represents a relationship in like 5 minutes or 3 minutes, which is not always easy. We're just kind of honing in on that kind of skill. That's been quite good.
Yeah.
So yeah, as a platform, we're expanding.
Yeah.
So if you're getting married this year and you haven't got a videographer and you're looking for someone, please send us an email, hit us up in the DMs. We would love to sit and meet with you and kind of work out a package and take it from there.
Smart.
That's right.
Smooth. Yeah.
Anything else you think we should touch on?
I think the personal bonds is key.
What, in terms of like not separating personal from business?
It's not that, it's managing the personal, because like I put it this way, like when things are at its busiest, all you discuss is business.
Right.
You,
So you neglect the personal.
you just flat out neglect it. Like if I'm seeing someone 12 hours on a Saturday, I don't even want to chat to them on Sunday. Like, you know what I mean? If we're here from like 12 till 8, 12 till midnight at times, which I mean, there been some interviews where like legit, I don't know how mentally you got through them, but like, and it's not a shot. It's just been a tough day.
Sure.
Sometimes you just need your little break and say, you know what, we're talking.
But we didn't take one though. Do you see what I mean? Like,
that's why now, anytime we need to take a little break, we'll sit down and we say, you know what.
Well, then you just manage the. I think a lot of it is obviously the relentless push, because you're trying to get to a point. And the flat out truth is like, if you look from a business point of view, we almost had it. Like we almost had the thing. It's just obviously at what cost? Because the truth is like when you're chasing the goal, something's sacrificed. Yeah, usually it is the personal bond anyway. Yeah. The point is that regardless, there has to be an element of just respect and all of it. And I think that's where like the issues became.
Yes.
I felt disrespected, you felt disrespected. We're going back and forth. I was like, okay, cool. You know what? This ain't gonna work out for anyone. So this is pull it.
Yeah.
And I think
so. Now we're finding ways how to deal with things better now.
Well, it's just being open and honest, but without the conflict, without the venom. Yeah. Because you can be honest about the venom. It's taking the venom out the voice. So like, and I think that's been a lot of it. Like,
I think part of it was that like in chasing what we were chasing, you know, numbers, subscribers, followers, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. We neglected the personal part so much that it's like it's very easy for like a group to become a bunch of isolated individuals if people aren't checking in on each other.
That's true. But we were acting so well because everyone was like, "Oh, it's such a great bond." No, that's the thing. We just played into character, and it wasn't like a bad thing.
No.
But it's just like
it's work rate, isn't it? We're always taught, like especially like if you've like played sports or if you're like gotten to a certain level in your field. Push through it. Like if there's something you're going through, push through it. So like any like mental thing that I was dealing with, push through it. Anything that Dan was going through, push through it. Clive, push through it. Craig, push through it. Emmanuel, push through it.
I can't even lie. Didn't I think because did the freestyle. Like, I don't know how, because that summer I was pushing through it and I was legit about to fall apart. Yeah. Obviously, I don't know how I was doing the 7 bars because I feel like every night I drop it some drama.
That freestyle spun me, man. I was hearing the lyrics and I was just sitting there thinking, I didn't even know half of this, bruv. What kind of a friend am I? I think I went home and I just sat there, I was like, am I really a friend?
That's why.
But you know what the thing is though, like when I dropped it, I think people asked and I was like, I ain't tell you, just listen to the freestyle. I'm not gonna lie to you because like, some things you just gotta put in the lyrics. Like you gotta put it in the art and then just leave it there because it's hard to articulate certain things.
But I think that's part of the point though. I think part of the point is that obviously, especially as like a group of like men up until the point where Chidi joined on. Shout out Chidi.
Can't wait to see Chidi in this, bro.
Big up Chidi.
I love you, Chidi, man. Big sis in that.
Positive influence from the jump. You love to see it.
She'd be like the biggest sister.
She's big sis, man.
But my point being that as men, we're taught to like, we handle emotion in a way that's quite toxic. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like,
that's
with
such a fact.
With Dan's situation, it's like
situations.
It's very easy to be like, okay, well, I'm around my guy friends, let me bottle it all down. And then what you'll get is that you'll get like an accumulation of stuff, and then you'll get the 8-7 bars where everything just sort of spills out, and then we're all like, am I a good friend? But it's also like, it's a 2-part thing of, as bros, we need to obviously like check in on each other on a regular.
Of course.
But then as us as individuals, we need to be able to like
be vulnerable enough
to like
to say that we're struggling.
Exactly. To like talk about the struggle. Like me and Dan had a conversation, I want to say 2-3 days ago, where he called me out and saying, yeah, but the thing about you is that like you don't say nothing. And I was like, yo, that's right, I don't say nothing. And then I told him like what I was dealing with and what I was going through. So I feel like another word of advice in business and in life is that if you're going through something, talk to someone.
Yeah,
like,
trust me, don't bottle it up, bro.
Yeah, no. All this other stuff about like, oh, it's not strong, or that's not this, that, and the third.
No, forget that.
You know what? That's the biggest weakness, though. If you don't talk about it, you're just so vulnerable.
Exactly.
I know me and Dan spoke. We went to Nando's last year. It was the last couple.
I told you that happened, bruv. I shocked this guy's face when I told him that happened, bruv. Was absolute gold, mate.
I was so shocked that I was like, I didn't know he was going through so much stuff because we didn't speak. And then one day, something told me, let me give him a call and let's meet up. So we meet up, and then he was telling me certain things. I was like, wow, I didn't even know.
I don't know how.
Because sometimes we don't see each other because most times
it gets busy, innit?
Yeah, scheduling and all that.
I remember at that point, I was still waking up at 4:30 to go to work, bro.
Some of the times, like we wake up the same time to go to work, and I was like,
you're just tired.
I was tired, and when he comes up from work, he wants to sleep. So I felt so bad when he told me.
When is there time to check in?
Yeah, but nowadays I know now. If anything, I'll message him and he'll message me. Or if we don't, we see each other when we can. So,
well, I guess it's not. I think making time has been the biggest thing recently. Making time and just being honest, because the truth is, for as shocking as elements there were in 2019 was, we had the event. Yeah. So
it's true.
And like,
so that rebuild relationships, that kind of rebuild.
What the fact is like you had the like at the end of the day, like it's just good to know like whatever happened,
you're still there for you.
Yeah, because it was a tag team. Literally, it was almost seamless on the day. But I dealt with tech, I dealt with everything else.
You didn't sit still that day, bro. You were jumping.
I ain't actually eat the whole day to 9 o'clock. But you don't feel hungry.
But the thing was that me and Clive were talking and we said that we're gonna get Daniel and Jas back. We just let them have their time off to chill out, and when they're ready to come rebuild.
It's funny actually because what I said is I was like, man thinks he's left. We ain't accepting the resignation.
Me and at home we're talking about we said Daniel wants to go through stuff. Let him have his little break, and then when he's ready, we'll come back.
It was a straight Mortal Kombat thing. Get him.
But the thing was,
get over here.
Remember last year I spoke to you before your sister's event. And I said to you, it was a Sunday. We spoke for like almost 2 hours.
Yeah, we spoke for a minute. Yeah, we spoke for a minute.
I said, we're gonna come back, man. Just when you're ready. Just when he said to me, I'm gonna think about it, and then I had a feeling in my heart. God was saying to me, he's gonna come back. Just let him have his time to sort himself out and take it.
Well, the event was key. I'm not lying. It was good. When the event banged, I was like, all right, cool. Like,
and the event we did it under 3 weeks.
Let's never do that again.
I'm telling you, man. Doing this whole just-in-time planning, I kind of like it a little bit, but I don't like it.
Things have to go perfectly.
Yeah,
and that it was the lack of margin for error that was slightly stressful.
But it was a successful night though, and
fam, I can't even lie. I took her in bare rest. I got lost, but.
That was a fugazi vote, but let's not even get into that.
You're outnumbered, and Nigerians are habitual cheats. I'm gonna say it. It is what it is.
I mean, look, I don't know about that, but I mean, the voting was a bit strange when I was seeing flags popping up in my inbox, and I was like, how do they know? And then someone was like, we know.
It was nice to know that obviously running the event that we'd lost before it got announced. So I personally had gone through that the whole trauma of losing to Orange Rice.
We'll do round two.
Ernie of Sesame Street, bro. Shocking rice, fam.
We'll do round two. There's a lot of talk on the street that that the Nigerians think they've got this on lock, but as an impartial, slightly biased judge, I feel like that may change in the next one. To be honest,
my mom DQ'd it. It's done. The number one.
That's true.
My mom said it was a DQ.
She was heading the event.
Yeah, so my mom of the event said what it was.
This time we're going to do it on a bigger scale for doing off one. Have everyone involved, more people involved this time.
It doesn't have to be more. I think
if we have like our pastor involved,
the blunt truth is this.
Yeah.
It was basically me and Clive to the Saturday, and then Dave came and helped us out.
Yeah,
that's basically what it came.
Dave came in clutch.
Dave came in
He
clutch.
was so surprised. He actually thought it was just going to be like food, maybe one or two little songs on like a little mini PA thing. Everyone was like, sound check. He's like, rah, this is like a full on event. And we're like, bro, I'm thinking, what did you think it was?
Because I literally told Dave, look, I need you there for sound check.
So I think the biggest thing we learned with that event, above everything, is like we got the marketing horribly wrong.
Yes.
Horribly wrong. So we marketed it as like a food event with music, but realistically it was like a music event with food.
Yeah.
Not diminishing the food and the food element of it, because that was really important. But the performers all gave such an incredible effort and standard that for what people paid for it, like you could pay that for just about that for each person individually. So to get them all to combine for that price, I think that was really good. And we've learned that now going into the next event. We're going to have that marketing down pat.
Because like the jollof was like the main event, but the core was the talent show.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure
that and also time.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was obviously
what happened was next time.
Well, the point is, the truth is like we wanted a certain time, and then realistically, if we'd like, because we wanted a certain time, because let's call it what it is. It was age every week's too, innit? So quite frankly, that was my other priority that night. Yeah. And obviously, then the reality hit.
And we provide for all. We had the fight on a laptop at the back, We're going to make sure we don't have a clash in the future. But if there was an event on, we would also cater
we get some clash of AJ. Everyone else I don't care about.
Yeah.
And another thing is we've got to thank Elijah, aka Conjero, for giving us giving out his free merchandise.
Yeah, that came. He came in clutch, boy. You know, he came in clutch.
Side note. When are the jackets coming out?
Oh yeah, quite frank. No.
Yeah,
Pause.
Yeah.
Why? I've been asking for a basil jacket,
Listen, man.
for almost a year.
Speak those things.
But Chidi has one. Where's my camera? Where my? Bro.
What the camera? Stephen A. style.
Elijah, you need to hook us up, mate.
Elijah, I know where you live, bro. I know where you live, G.
Yeah. I don't, but quite frankly.
So episode 3 of the rebrand, you're going to be on here with the merch, yeah?
And I want my jacket for free.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
I demand Conjurer in green. That's all I'm saying, bro. I'm only once. I'm only going to ask one.
Bruv, my G. How do I not have a baseball jacket? How?
I want a baseball jacket.
I've got bare t-shirts. Bruv, I got a hat, a t-shirt. Where's the caps?
I'm sponsored at this point, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But where the caps?
Where they at, man?
Where the caps?
Where they at? He has caps. I'm like, where's
He's got caps.
He's got caps.
He's got caps.
Yeah, you need to run that tube. I'm not going to joke, man.
Yo, man.
Big man
it's
team.
not everyday executive merchandise, bro.
On the
next one, episode number 3 of the you're going to be here and you're going to have to, and we're going to wear, and
I'm coming for smoke.
That's it.
On the bright side, though, okay, I like to deliver. Let's just
Always delivers.
He came willing and he gave out.
Fam, he surprised me actually, because I remember we were talking about for like 2 weeks, and I was like, obviously we're trying to gauge numbers, because I was like, cool. Obviously, it has to make sense for him. His business at the end of the day, and he was basically doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
I think he got quite a lot of business afterwards though.
I'd hope so.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to give a shout out to obviously all the performers, Melody, Vanessa, Jamie, Jarrell, DJ Sashi on the decks, Foppe with an amazing renditions from her book.
Oh, and EK as well.
And EK, EK, you need to episode 4. We want you here. I'm just shouting everyone out. So episode 4, just make it happen.
I just love
how EK,
bruv. I mean, when EK is here, we'll tell a story in it. But like EK made me laugh because he was like, "Let's go first," and obviously he wants, for certain reasons.
Yeah.
And then he stays to the end. So
blessings, man.
It was nice.
Yeah, EK always does his thing.
EK's man.
I think Jarrell did well as well.
Jarrell's you know what the thing is? It's hard to give like a stand out, but Jarrell smashed it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Jarrell smashed it, but
they all smashed it.
And Melody did well as well. I like to start.
Melody did do well.
Yeah.
Vanessa Jamie smashed it though.
Yes.
She was good as well. She was sick.
It's like she made. I was running around, didn't really get to sit down.
Right.
Oh, baby cakes, boy, I'm coming for you. But
baby cakes, you just don't know. No.
And shout out Bonnie, who was all the host on the night.
He did. He also smashed me too in the comments. But like, you know what? I'm gonna get him.
Yeah.
Baby cakes, I'm gonna get him.
Baby cakes.
Doing
all these loose hips dance moves. I see you, baby cakes.
I shout out all the people who did the cooking as well for the food on the night as well.
And then everyone gets who helped out, man. Like Chidi, Shea, like there are people that helped out. I think I did like on the night. I just kept banging out stories.
Yeah.
Volunteers, thank you very much.
And you forget people, like legit, you genuinely do. But you know what? It's just a thing where obviously you just know you got like support. Like, but Diane was driving me around to get the food, fam.
Yeah, Diane.
Like Diane, hey,
shout out Diane.
Everyone came
people
in clutch,
doing.
You
know what I mean? People came together for that one, man. Still,
that's good. I only had a short notice as well. Imagine if we had more time.
If we had 2 more weeks, that's literally what it is. If we literally had 2 more weeks, we'd have
which is why it's more key to make sure that this next event that we do, like we have everything set and we make sure it bangs. Because look what we did in such a short period of time. Imagine if we have a full. We've discussed the absent. We've discussed us leaving. We've discussed the emotional side and like how we need to communicate better as a group.
And the connection side, connecting back.
As far as rebuilding
all
the
back together again.
It was one meeting. Let's just call it what it is.
well, like the luxury that we have, that like other people that are like want to like get in on some sort of like venture as a group. The luxury that we have is that we are in the same vicinity almost every single Sunday. So at some point, it's not going to be like everyday beef or whatever, like everyday coldness. Like we'll come in, be cordial, and then from cordial you can build up where like cordial is a good ground to start building things back up from, innit?
100%.
So it's like when Dan left, obviously it's like there was some tension going around, but obviously like it just takes time to
heal.
Takes time to heal. As you see each other more and more, the hurt is less and less there, innit? So then it's like eventually conversation can happen.
Yeah, and there's also like not trying to get things back to where they were. Because I think the truth is, once it's gone, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Once it's gone, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like living in the past in that regard is a bit dangerous,
right?
Yeah,
because you're looking at memories and reminiscing instead of just looking to like build something stronger going forward.
Well, that's a point that everyone should hear out.
Yeah,
when you've lost something, stop trying to like recapture something that's been lost. Instead, try and evolve on it. You know what I'm saying? So now, as far as 7's concerned, like the prior way things were, it's not quite there anymore, but it's evolved to where everyone is aware of what each other needs on like a personal and emotional level. So now we can exactly now we can better support each other and produce a better product.
Plus, I just feel like I'm in a better place mentally.
I think
best place for a while.
I think with this situation that happened, I think it made us more stronger.
I think
because sometimes, like, you know, sometimes imagine if we had, like, for example, if we became very successful last year and issues was a problem and we split, and then it would have been messy. It'd been very messy. So I think this was like God was just testing us and saying, you know what, I'm gonna give you this test and see how you challenge and see how it goes. And then now we sorted out the issues, whatever issues we had, and now we're gonna go forward and then we're gonna learn that sometimes if people are not feeling 100%. We're just going to respect them, give them their time out, and then be more aware of people's feelings and things like that.
But you know, I think for me, the biggest thing is I think you appreciate the value of each other way more, and you kind of understand how much each person brings to the dynamic, which you don't know when everyone's together, because you kind of like your ego can get in the way, and you kind of like think, oh nah, this is it. And then when the pieces start disappearing, you're like, right, actually, but I can't do what it does. I just have to just all right, let me just try. It's you know, it's like a chef trying to cook a meal, but you know, he forget that the sous chef is the one who preps all the stuff properly for him to cook, and he thinks, I don't need you. Goes in the kitchen, he does his little prep, but he doesn't cut it the same way, doesn't cook the same way.
Like for Barcelona, Messi's the best player, but if players are not doing the stuff like what Messi needs to do, Messi can't be a best player. So people
look at him at Argentina.
Argentina is the ultimate example of him not being capable.
He got players who work for Messi, so Messi can do his magic on the pitch. So if like with 8-7, we had all of us all together, and Dan was doing a lot of stuff as well, like interviews and things like that. And I think he got towards the end, it was getting too much for him. So now we understand when he needs to take a little.
Well, it's not even. I remember like that March, I was ill.
Yeah,
I was ill for most of March.
A lot of stuff was getting onto you, and you had a lot of issues. I don't want to go into.
I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. So whatever issue, like whatever. So basically, what happened was he just needed a break. He had him and Just had a break.
Yeah,
we sat down. We discussed what needed to be discussed, and now we're moving forward. And now I think if any issues in the future, we know how to deal with it better than they did before.
Well, we just talk.
Yeah, that's better.
That's kind of what it is.
I think, because a big issue for us is that we're all like, all of us, Emmanuel included, we're all very prideful in it. So we take a lot of pride again in like our own inner strength in that. So when that happens, it's very easy, like I said earlier, for us to dismiss things that should have been addressed. So I think
that's true.
That's a key thing that people should lock into, that it's about communication and about like, I used this in our Forge meet a couple weeks ago, but about discernment, being able to see that your bro is going, like, regardless of what he says, see that your bro is going through something. When the time is right, drag him aside and be like, yo, what's going on? I can tell something's wrong. And have open dialogue.
Yeah.
Like,
well, there's stuff we still need to get better at. Like, I think, because I think I spoke to you privately. Like, we generally create time. But since then, I haven't really had the one-on-one. So, like, or like the time. So it's about creating those moments in the moment. Like, those days.
I know we're all busy during the week, but weekends we can find a time.
We're going Nando's today.
Yeah, so we can do it. Like, it's not.
Let's just not go to the one near the Tesco, please.
No, we're going to go to the one in our outlet.
Yeah, that's fine. Because that chicken got violated.
It's just the one you lot were talking about when I didn't show up.
Yeah, the burnt chicken. Remember the burnt chicken?
Not even that. Why was no, it wasn't even burnt. It was just a solid.
The disrespect. We came there hungry and they served us turd.
I know.
I love been back there since.
You couldn't actually cut the chicken.
So like,
you had to have ketchup just to make it enough to eat. Bruv, you know what it felt like? Like just before war. Just before war.
Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Yeah, man. You got some surprises, no?
Yeah.
You got some big interviews coming out. I mean, by the time this drops, the interview would have dropped. But
well, I'm working on a few interviews that we're gonna hopefully I can potentially get. But I don't want to say names right now. I'm trying to work on it behind the scenes. So
man, we'll talk.
Maybe another surprise, like a Sabbats surprise, something like that. Hopefully,
fam, I'm not like that interview is still one of my favorite ones.
On it, so, because I think we need someone just to give us that.
It's not even just. It's just the because I think the thing is like the truth is the heart's not going to stop what we do.
Yeah,
it's just the moments you have to be starstruck too. So it's like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it comes down to.
Yeah,
and it's like because the thing is I don't know if we'll get to the point where like I want to go and interview like a super guest, like a superstar. Yeah. Unless it's about like as a story to be touched on. I think every story we've done has been there to be touched on. So it's like it's a unique element to a story. I think
if we get someone bit massive, I think what we have to touch on is what's going on in the world today, like especially with online bullying and suicide and people, all that kind of. I think because a lot like I noticed that. Can I speak on this?
Bro, man, founder, innit?
I think because what happened like to Caroline Flack last week with the whole online bullying and
we'll say Feb because by the time this drops will be March.
With all the online bullying and all the stuff on social media, like I thought we need somebody who's going through that and them to explain how they deal with it because
she was about to actually. They have they know. Plus, I think the truth is that I think the online bullying aspect only affects you when you're not in a good space. You're not. If you're in a good space, you genuinely don't worry about that stuff because quite frankly,
but you say that, Dan, but it does affect you mentally.
No, I understand that. But if you're in a good place, it's not gonna have the same level of punch. When you're in a bad place, that's a knockout.
But the thing is, you can be in a good place today and tomorrow you can be in a bad place. Something can just trigger any time. So it's the balance. Like, how do you deal with it? Sometimes people say, no, I'd never just ignore it. And then,
but I think the thing we have to keep remembering, and it's not to like drag it or to anything like that, is there were other things going on that were very big factors, and then you have the online bullying on top of, which is the thing.
So that means basically it gets onto
builds up. Yeah, that's kind of that kind of thing.
Anymore. Well, I think at some point we need to like possibly sit down and have a talk about mental health because obviously
100%.
What's happening this year, building off of what happened last year and all the people you lost last year, it's just a bit mad. And I think talking about the social aspect, social media and social media accountability is something that we need to really talk about.
Well, let's just checking. It's also checking your emotional health, man. Like there's a lot of stuff that I've done like last few months. I guess we'll get into it when the right chat comes along, but like there's a lot that you just have to go and face because I think a lot of times you avoid the issue.
Especially like us in the black community, and especially and black men specifically. Like,
black men,
considering considering like what gets so many of us as men, not to exclude women because they go through it as well, but I don't know the exact.
We just speak on what we know. We just speak on what we know, innit?
But the thing is with women, women will talk to their friend, their lady.
Not always, bro.
Sometimes they'll say something, but us men, because we're proud.
Because we're proud, pride and social conditioning say don't talk about your issues.
Don't talk about it, but then if you don't talk about it, it builds up, and you get to a stage where you're vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, like you can't.
It takes a small thing will
trigger it off, and then
doesn't take much. So I think at some point that talk should be had.
So my advice to anybody that's going for anything, there's talk. Don't be scared to talk about it. Don't worry.
And
don't
go
worry
find a
if you
professional,
feel,
man. Like, it's not every day. Like, sometimes your friends can't help you. You understand it. So go find a professional. Like, it's not.
Find a professional.
It ain't the end of the world to go find a professional and actually do that, because that
can keep you alive. Then do that, 100%.
Fam, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you just have to. Because I think, like, obviously, Jas is very aware.
Yeah.
Like, the roller coaster your mind can take you on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, of course.
Especially when you've been through stuff that could be traumatic. So it's like, you have to just be sort of aware of, like, okay, I'm in a bad place. Cool. Let me be open about it.
Yeah.
So
that's something that doesn't. I think we can touch on deeper another time, because there's a lot I want to talk about.
Yeah. That's calm, man.
Definitely.
That's calm, man.
That'll be a good conversation.
But what I'm looking forward to now is 2020 is genuinely, I feel like the fire's back.
I think it is.
And I
think it's back as well.
It's back. I feel like the fire's back. I feel it's back for all of us.
The fire's back, and now it's time to take a real push.
I think I was talking to somebody. I talked to my friend. What was it? Yesterday. We were just talking about, like, our future goal, because she's getting married this year. So we're talking about certain things. And she said to me, "What do you want to do? Like, what's your plans for the future?" I was saying to her, "I want 8-7 to be established and go far with it." And she was saying to me, "You can definitely do it." I said to her, "I want 8-7 to be like my main."
I wanted the main thing. Yeah. I basically, because the thing is, like, you have all sorts of abilities and stuff, and obviously 9 to 5s that keep us afloat, and in other cases you're pushing towards a goal anyway. But when you're chasing a passion like that, like, you want your passion at some point to be the main.
Yeah. And she was saying to me, she was giving me good encouragement. I was saying thank you, because we always motivate each other. Like, she'll call me, I'll call her, and we'll talk about things. She'll tell me about her work, and I talk about my uni or whatever. I'll talk about, like, about 8-7, like, how we want to grow. Right. And she said to me that she subscribed to our channel anyway. She said to me, "You got some good videos."
Nice.
No one's bashed our content once. I've never heard someone actually bash the content.
I think we produce good content.
A lot of people, my friends too, when I normally post it on my WhatsApp, a lot of them check it out and say it's very good.
It's just getting outside the bubble.
Yeah. It's getting outside the bubble, and just I think at this point the content we produce isn't bad. I think we just need to, like, fine tune it, like, seeing how, like, the edits that Clive has made, it's like taking us to the next level. It's just continuing to build on the quality of the content, and then we'll get to where we're going, because it's not bad content, like you're saying. No one's bashed it like that. So going forward, we know what our goals are for like, as individuals and as a collective. So I feel like as long as we don't lose sight of the things touched on in this episode, I think we're good. I think, like, like,
and I think
the sky is the limit doesn't even apply to us. I think it's beyond that.
Yeah.
And then also for, like, those, I guess it's weird because you want to also, like, be honest in terms of what people should learn. And you know what the truth is? Things get sticky anyway.
Yes.
Like, it's just being open
it's
about
not
it.
all It's not all rainbows
being
and
open
sunshine.
about it. Being open.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to go through, like the weather up and down.
Well, you're gonna, innit? You're gonna. It's just guaranteed, like, you know.
But as long as we stick together, we'll be
that's
fine.
cool. And as long as, like, as people, you're being open and stuff, and you're actually, and there's a level of, like,
respect.
I think it's honesty as well, and you know what, transparency is key, man.
100.
Because you know what, you can't be transparent with everyone. That's a fact.
No. Yeah.
But you can be with those. You should be able to with those around you.
Of course, 100%.
And yeah, man, it's cool to be back in it.
Exactly.
I guess
It's back to 8-7.
back in. I don't know. I said back in black. But I'm wearing blue jeans. I should have really thought that through today.
We're back better than before.
There you go.
Stronger.
I say you're back in black, but you got the right hat on.
Yeah.
I'm rapping Conjera today.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's good to be back, man.
Yeah,
it's good to be back.
We miss you guys, so take it from there.
All right, can
we move?
Yeah, all right, cool. Clive, wrap us out so I can sleep, please.
Shane's done. He's tired under there.
Shane's done.
So I want to say thanks everyone for tuning in. If you haven't seen any of our videos, head over to our YouTube page. That's youtube.com/EightSeven. That's EightSeven, and you can watch all of our stuff. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all 87.uk, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace. Back.